What's up, Play Squad? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to XPKAGE. Back to guys, another video. Now we're finally getting into the Flash Season 7 Episode 2 review. I got my notes right here, so if you see me look down, I'm kind of reading off these notes. They're just, checkpoints to make me remember, because it's kind of hard to remember every single detail out of a 50-minute episode, almost hour episode. At least for me it is. But if you guys are new to the channel, please subscribe, press the notification bell, and help me reach my goal of 100k subs. Let's get into it. So we start off with Barry, Joe, Cisco, Allegra, and Cecile mourning and memorizing the wells, and where Cisco says it's protected by some kind of thing to where whatever changes in time would happen, they will always be memorized. And then yeah, Allegra is, after this, Allegra is kind of, Joe tells them that, judging by the wells, it's not, abilities that make them heroes, it's their humanity, basically. Their humanity is what makes them good people. And, and then while Allegra is in an office, or her office, mourning Nash, because Nash is sort of like a father figure to her, she ends up getting a message on her laptop that was sent by Iris to, Camilla and Singh to meet in the speed lab. And then right after we reach that point, we go back to Barry and Cisco trying to figure out the portal, when we find out Barry has speed thinking. He looks like he sees in the future a little bit. He has future vision more than speed thinking at the beginning of it. Before that, Cisco was kind of mourning. Barry gives his little pep talk, but when he has the speed thinking, yeah, and Cisco's like, "You freaky." That's one of the funny parts of that. It was kind of hilarious. And then they realize that, they don't find he has speed thinking until later on. But Barry basically figures out a way to fix the portal. They don't really figure if they. He says that they need to locate Iris, Singh, and Camilla in order for them to, save them, and they have to find the location in order to bring them back, which is what Allegra brings in and shows him the message, and she doesn't know how. And Barry basically said, since she was there the longest, so he's basically saying since she was there as long as she has some ability or something like that. I don't know. I couldn't understand what he's talking. I don't speak smart. I'm intelligent, but not that freaking intelligent. But yeah, that was all pretty interesting as well. So they basically go to the speed lab to figure out if Barry actually has speed thinking. Cisco has a ball. I forget the name of it already. That's not one of the things I wrote down in my notes. But he gets this blue ball he throws. I guess it has some abilities, and it still looks Barry sees in the future. Still looks more like future vision than speed thinking, so I don't know. But then by now he predicted everywhere it was gonna go, and he said, "Yo, I have speed thinking." He kept the commercial. We came back from the commercial, and he said no. After he said he has speed thinking, he said, "I know how to get them back, or I know how to do something to get them back." And then we cut to commercial. We come back. They said to say that again, and basically he was talking about how Eva has dark matter photons on her, and so they could use that to replace sort of Ramsey's blood, which is what she used for the portal. But they can replace that with dark photon matters, which then he predicts where she's gonna go, because she's gonna go to a factory, one of the black hole hideout factories, to get one of her equipment again. She either gets to destroy it or she gets to wield it, or whatever she was saying to them. But then she gets, while Barry and Cisco are hiding, when he has the device on his chest to collect the dark photons, Frost, I think her name's just Frost now. Frost drops in to distract her, because Barry says that Eva is faster than him, and so they need Frost to distract her. While she's distracted, Barry runs around her, collects the photons, goes hide behind the crate again, while Frost is kind of in a little bit of trouble, he has a chance to save her, decides he doesn't want to save her, or decides he can't save her, or something like that. She gets shot. Eva gets shot by Cisco. She ends up leaving. She doesn't really fight back Cisco, not all that much, so that was interesting. And then we go to the lab where he's basically asking Barry why did he let her take the shot, and he said there was a 0.something% chance that the device they had carrying the photons could get destroyed, which he said that could not happen. He saved he had to save Frost with a shot, an antidote, so to speak, that he ran simulations through and tests through in his mind, which ended up actually working. And he's saying he got Cisco told him he got lucky with that cocktail sort of thing. That's what basically they were. And yeah, so then we go to, Eva actually getting exposed. Well, no, we have Allegra and Cecile having sort of a conversation, a moment to themselves. Well, because, her empath thing allowed her to feel the emotion of Allegra's missing Nash, which she basically said Nash was like a father figure to her because her father left before she was even able to walk. And so Cecile's basically talking about her family, their long line of how would I say this, legal justice family or something like that. And so she's saying she has her grandfather's filing cabinet in one of her house, and she carries her mother's briefcase, and she said that they're only fully gone to us once we stop carrying them with us, basically. And so that kind of cheers Allegra up a little bit. And then we go to where Barry's basically trying to actually figure out that that Eva isn't actually Eva, because we've seen in the last episode Eva actually died. That's just her near counterpart. And he said Sissy was trying to say that's not impossible. He said, well, I slept in bed with Iris and you did the same with Camilla and we didn't notice. So yeah. And also sometime in between, I don't remember which part this was in, but Camilla and Singh had some type of side effect of neurodissonance, and it was some type of side effect that made them collapse because they were brought in. They were brought in by Eva's henchmen and not Eva herself. So they're collapsed on the floor. And when he finds out this video, he finds the video actually. He actually hacks it and gets a video from the cameras, which Cisco is surprised because even Cisco couldn't hack through it. And Barry's speed thing is getting more intelligent while he loses his emotion, which that's actually the side effect of the new artificial speed force, the ASF, is to try to get them to take out how emotion affects it, like Earbard Thawns did, the Yellow Flash. It's basically, it increases his brain capacity, but he has no emotion. And he basically was beating himself up earlier on, saying it was his fault because Ramsey uses emotion and then Eva uses emotion, basically saying his heart is a weakness. And yeah, so while Barry, like I said, he found the video, he actually exposed it during one of Eva's interviews with one of these people. I forget who she's interviewing for. She's on some TV show interviewing with Eva, and Eva gets exposed where it shows that Eva's dead. She kind of has more of a mental breakdown, and then after that, Barry goes to, after he distracts her, he said that was the more efficient way to distract her so they wouldn't know that they were using the portal. Barry goes to get Gideon, he finds out that since they can only bring out, they have to choose because they only bring out Camilla and David or just Iris, because if Iris has been there longer, she'll take more dark matter photons to fully extract, which Barry ends up saying, he runs a simulation through his head, which makes you think is real, that they're voting, and of course Allegra, Frost, and Cisco vote for the two, Camilla and David, and Barry's the only one that votes for Iris, which he said he ran that through his head, which he didn't know what they were going to think actually. And yeah, so he chooses just to go for Iris by himself, because Gideon's like, hey, should I inform the others? He says, no, I'm gonna do this by myself, and he's gonna get Iris. And not for the reason you think, actually. He was gonna get Iris because Iris has information on Eva, and she's the most logical choice, and basically saying that Sing and Camilla are basically throwawayable. They're trash, basically. He calls them, they're basically insignificant to him right now. His brain capacity, he's emotionless, so at this point he seems kind of like he's turning evil. And that's what he explains to Cisco when Cisco comes in and he tells him what I just told you guys about his brain capacity rising, but his emotions dwindle along as the speed thinking progresses. You know, he wanted to turn that off so Barry can listen with his heart again. He's telling Barry his heart's not his weakness. For like that, he sees the thing of him only getting Iris. He tells them that they can only get one of the two. Basically tells them Camilla and Sing are basically insignificant right now. And he goes to get a gun, and Barry is surrounded by Allegra with Nash's stuff, and Frost and Cisco with a gun. Cisco aims the gun, points at the artificial speed force. Barry jumps in front of it. Apparently it nullifies his speed a little bit. And so what was it? They basically all jump Barry. Barry throws that ball that was thrown at him earlier, and apparently that was only the end of the battle before they even freaking started. But they still kept on fighting. He was able to knock out Cisco, get Cisco out a little bit and Allegra out a little bit. But then Frost injected herself with Velocity X to make her a temporary speedster. They were speeding around the city. He gets hit. He said, your speed is running out. And then she hits him with a speed frost attack, which then Allegra uses some of Nash's teleporting tech or something like that. That teleports him back in the thing. And he says, y'all lost before this battle even started, which that ball came back around, hit him in the face. Allegra shot Frost, and they all just got knocked out really bad. They were pretty hurt. And then he opens up the portal, and he tries to get Iris, and Iris doesn't want to come through because she said they need to go through first. He said, hey, you're the only choice, you're the most logical choice. She says no, they need to go first. She's like, this is not what I was thinking. And then he forces her to come through with the thing, which pulls her back in. And so she said that wasn't him. But then when she comes out, she falls down, and she passes out, and it looks like she's in great pain, probably because she was in the Mirrorverse for so long, or the side effect of what Barry did. And so Barry's heart comes back to him when he sees her down in pain, where he's like, oh dang, I just fucked up here. And so he destroys it looks like he destroys the artificial speed force. He shoots an electric lightning bolt at it, or something like that, what do you want to call it. And a lot of blue lightning comes out of him, and he realizes what he did was a huge mistake. He sees all his friends laying down, and them right there. And that's basically how that part ends. We go to previously where they show Eobard Thawne taking Nash Wells. Then Nash Wells, out of his grave, a lot of green fairy dust comes up, and then not Nash Wells, for Harrison Wells, and then like I said, we got a lot of green dust, little fairy dust come up, and Harrison Wells is now alive again. Which that is basically in, and we won't know until next week what's going on. But the whole incident that's got me messed up is because if they get the dark photon matters from Eva to the portal, couldn't they have just gotten David and Sing out? Not David and Sing, David and Camilla out, and got the photons from them, opened up another portal and got Iris. Or they just got Iris and she was in there longer, so she'd have more dark matter photons, and then they could have got dark matter photons off her, opened up another portal, and got Sing and Camilla out. So I think maybe they were overthinking that. Maybe they just thought we wouldn't notice or something like that. But yeah, or maybe they didn't have them because they didn't exit the portal with Eva. I don't know. But that's basically the whole episode. Hopefully this video wasn't too long. It probably was because there's kind of a lot to cover in one single episode. I will be doing this again next week. I'm gonna actually skip Superman and Lois. I'm just gonna watch it at my own pace because it's gonna be kind of hard to do 3 of these reviews a week. Plus with the other videos I do on this channel. I was originally gonna do Watchdog Legions Online, but that was unfortunately delayed again, which I'm probably gonna give up on that. I don't know what other videos I'm gonna do next in the future. I definitely have a manga review ready for later this month, and we definitely got, well, the Flash and Black Lightning review next week. But someone said I don't know the characters. Excuse me. Someone said I didn't know the characters that well, and well, Black Lightning, I don't know the new characters, so you can't expect me automatically to fully remember the name of the new characters. And plus, I didn't write down my notes on that one, so I know the fat guy's name is Dante, I'm pretty sure, the one who is mocking George Floyd. But anyways, that is the end of the video. I'll make sure to write notes down for the episodes so I have key points to remember by, because that's what I basically wrote here. I just wrote down key points so I can remember the rest afterwards, and key points, remember the rest afterwards. But this was a very interesting episode. I really did enjoy it. Barry's no longer an evil speed thinking jerk right now. He's basically realizing the consequences of his actions. So we'll see the repercussions and hopefully Harrison Wells again next week, which would be dope, because I actually thought he was going to be fully gone, but no, I guess they brought him back again. There's always some magical way how Harrison Wells comes back, and this was actually a magical way. Green Fairy Dust brought him back to life. And that was the one that got killed by Eobard Thawne, so he's not going to have any knowledge of, he shouldn't have any knowledge of Barry or anything else, unless when Barry destroyed this artificial speed force that allowed that to happen, and maybe he has all the knowledge of the past Wells now, and well, all the universal Wells. But we'll find all that out next week. But like I said, this is the end of the video. If you guys made it to the end of the video, put hashtag InSquad down in the comments below. If you did enjoy the video, please smash the like button, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out, Plague Squad. XPKAGE out.